Today we are going to continue our exploration of Nipata, stemming from the Sutra Prakrishvara Nipataha, and taken as Adhyahara or Anuvritti. I don't know technically. Probably nobody knows since the Swarita has gone with the wind. But here's the thing. The beauty and intricacy of these sutras lies in the degree to which they are interwoven. Now, of course, many sutras are connected by virtue of anuvritti, and they're related to each other that way. I think the interplay between these sutras is a little bit more of a dance, and I'll try to convey that as I understand it. So first thing is to just remind ourselves of the sutras that have come before. So first, 1456, Prakrishvara Nipataha, until Rishvara, Nipata is coming, understood to be present. Then Chadayo Sattve. So now we get down to brass tacks. The Gana, beginning with Cha, etc., are called, the members of that Gana are called Nipata, as long as they are asattva. That is, they do not relate or refer to a thing. And we'll finally have a look at an example of that in a minute. Then we have the innocent looking pradayaha, the Gana pra, and so on, also Nipata, as long as they are asattva. Now, today we will explore 1459, Upasargah Kriya Yoge, and I am showing them together from the outset because into this sutra comes Pradayaha and Nipataha. Pradayaha, Nipataha. So what's distinctive about that is that the Gana, Chadayaha, does not come down into Upasargah Kriya Yoge, which is to say, Chadayaha are not invited into the club of Upasarga. They just aren't. They are Nipata, but they will never ever be called Upasarga. So let's look at our new sutra in some more detail. Upasargah Kriya Yoge. Upasargah Kriya Yoge, 1459. And 22 in Siddhanta Kaumadi. Upasargaha Kriya Yoge. Now, Kriya Yoge means connected to action. And that effectively means verbs. But we won't get ourselves into any kind of sticky wickets by going beyond the way it's said, when connected to action. Now, this is again our new friend, our favorite new friend, Sati Saptami, otherwise known as locative absolute. So, Kriya Yoge, when connected to action. Now, as I mentioned, Anuvritti into this sutra includes pradeyaha and nipataha. Pradeyaha and nipataha. So putting it all together, kriya yoge pradeyaha upasargaha nipataha cha. It's not technically there, but also. So kriya yoge pradeyaha upasargaha nipataha. So when connected to action, kriya yoge pradeyaha are called upasarga and nipata. And that's a little bit of a special, I don't know to say exception, but to have two attributes simultaneously that way is not an everyday thing. So again, what we want, one of the things we want to note is that Ashtadhyayi does not participate in this particular festival. And in fact, the question in the past, going back to Katyayana and so on, is why are there two different sutras, Ashtadhyayi and Pradeyaha? And this is understood to be the reason, to make the distinction between those two gunas in terms of the option of becoming, the possibility of becoming upasarga. Now, there's just a little thing. I'm not speaking with authority here exactly, but one might ask, why is a sattve not anuvritti to this sutra? Why is a sattve not come? Well, I would say because if it's nipataha, it has to be a sattve. So it's implicit in the name nipataha. So there we go. Now we have a couple of examples. These come from diverse sources, but I think they're legitimate. First is an example of when para, which is in the, I think it's the next after pra, is in pradeyaha. So here we have para jayati sena. Para jayati sena. Elsewhere, down current, there are particular exceptions in the similar upasarga situation, which says that the pra or the upasarga and the related term don't need to be together exactly. So we can imagine that's not a problem here. So the question is para jayati sena, is para upasarga? Well, the answer is no, because para here is not, it's not a sattve, it's not a sattva, because it refers to the sena, the army, the exceptional army or the great army wins. That's a thing. The army is definitely a thing, and therefore para is not either nipata or upasarga. No luck. But, and here's an example with its own little wrinkle, pranayati is both nipata and upasarga, because pra doesn't refer to anything else than a sort of embellishment of the verb nayati, and it is related to the action of the verb, so it is upasarga and nipata. And the little surprise thing here is that in pra plus nayati, because pra is upasarga, it changes the n of nayati to nayati, n to nayati, nayati to nayati. So it's pranayati. Now, the extra special little wrinkle, which I'm in the process of fully becoming comfortable with by getting a copy of the full Dhatupada, because this only applies if the ni of the verb, or the n of the verb that changes to ni, from ni to ni, that form is na in the verb's original form, namely the root. So this will only be true if the original root of nayati is ni, which it is held to be, but I haven't totally confirmed that. So there you go. Now we have all but one of the Nipata Sutras we're going to do. The next one is very brief, and there you go. So we have Prakrishvara Nipataha Chadayo Sattve Pradayaha Upasargah Kriya Yoge. And for our efforts, we now have Nipatas and Upasargas and some of their actions.